Insta360 is fast becoming one of GoPro's biggest rivals in the action camera scene. The latest Insta360 One RS certainly giving the GoPro Hero 10 a tough time thanks to its great performance and the added versatility in that modular design. And thanks to that modular design, Insta360 have filled a hole that GoPro have so far left empty, with a 1-inch lens. The latest version of Insta360's modular action camera, the One RS, really is a fantastic overall performer, whether in its standard action camera form with its 4K boost lens or with its 360 lens. Like the 360 lens though, which saw no actual update from the original 1R, there's been no physical update to the 1-inch lens either. But even so, coupled with the more powerful RS core module, we should be looking at low light ability that is far greater than a GoPro, along with better native dynamic range than just about any other action camera currently available. With the same high quality construction that we've become accustomed to with the entire 360 One RS range, my first reaction to the Insta360 One R 1-inch was wow, that's a big lens, for an action camera at least. In actual fact though, it's the lens protector that makes it appear huge. This can be unscrewed, revealing the lens glass underneath, which isn't really much bigger than the 360-degree mod. The reason for this is simply because the protective glass needs to extend beyond the lens itself thanks to its wide-angle field of view, as well as the gap between lens glass and lens protector. On top of that, it just looks very serious and very professional too. Nevertheless, attached to the side of the core module, with both 1R and 1RS modules being supported, the 1-inch lens module is slightly larger than the 4K one. There's a little bump at its back side extending a few millimeters beyond the screen block, which goes to prove that 1-inch sensor action cameras do not really have to be huge. Finally, attach the battery module and you're pretty much ready to shoot. Yes, we do still have the screen that's a little too small to make for comfortable composition, but it's much better than nothing at all. On the plus side though, thanks to that new frame design, the camera slides straight into place and locks firm. No need to remove that lens protector whatsoever, which is a refreshing and very welcome change from the original 1R frame cage. So all in all, as you can see, Insta360 has nailed the size issue. As if you're not put off by the large protective cover, of course. So what this should give you is superior image quality. This is because the 1-inch sensor has around 4 times the light gathering powers of rivals that have 2.3-inch sensors, including all GoPro Hero Black models. The result is that, in both 5.3K 25 and 4K 60 modes, the One RS 1-inch mod produces sharp, punchy videos. When shooting into bright clouds with the sun in view, you'll still see some minor clipped highlights because, like the 4K module, it still uses similar exposure processes, but the areas of shadow are brighter, cleaner, and far more detailed in the 1-inch sensor image. The 4K mod has lower resolution than the 1-inch mod 2, 12 megapixel compared to 19 megapixels, but the difference in detail in shadow areas is down to the sensor size more than the sensor resolution. In essence, the punch and the detail fidelity that you get when shooting in bright sunlight is superb. Footage is contrasty and sharp, with relatively little loss of detail at the corners of the frame too. The Insta360 1-inch lens holds onto its image punchiness really well, and is less prone to in-frame blurring. Most action camera footage turns mushy as soon as the light level drops a little. One reason why GoPro has stayed dominant for so long is because it hangs onto its image quality for dear life in difficult conditions, and the Insta360 One RS 1-inch edition holds up well here too. One of the main reasons to go for this lens thanks to its better low light abilities, considering that larger sensor is able to draw in more surrounding light. If you find yourself regularly shooting video footage in lower light conditions, this is definitely the lens for you. Do bear in mind though, the 1-inch lens is more suited to slower, more controlled or more cinematic motion. Personally, I'd be more inclined to stick with the 4K lens for fast action, but there are benefits to the larger 1-inch lens if you want a wide shot or just for a small camera to help you make short films. Its still images are very impressive too, giving you shots that are a cut above those from rivals like GoPro. This is true of both JPEGs and RAW files, which give the option of pulling stacks of detail from the shadows without too much resulting noise. All in all, while this makes for a really strong setup, The 1-inch lens is not cheap. You should consider whether you really need all the extra quality that this 1-inch mod provides. For more casual shooters, it might be a bit overkill, but if you want a more professional look for your video projects, then it's the perfect addition to an already great camera.